Drink coffee. MaxBang is a half-hour hangout of some smooth radio voice. So grab a cup of coffee, and how's your mother? Shit, that's hot. Holy moly. Happy Friday, everyone. Friday morning. I asked you guys last week what day you want these to come out, and a couple of you said Friday morning, and I really sort of like that. It's like the beginning of the weekend, because everybody knows Thursday night is the new Friday night, Friday night's the new Saturday night, Saturday is the new Friday, Sunday is the new Monday, Monday is the new Wednesday, and so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying. As you're getting settled in, go ahead and write down in the comments below what you're drinking today. If you have while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and click the thumbs up button? That tells YouTube that this is more the type of video that you would like to see. And if you really like this type of content, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Today I am drinking Blonde Roast. Starbucks Blonde Roast. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I used to think that the lighter the roast, the less caffeine, the darker the roast, the more caffeine. I've since found out that that is in fact not true. So put that in your coffee and drink it. That was a real curveball for me. So now I really do like the sort of light, the blonde roast. Also, it's always an incredibly fun excuse to say that you prefer blondes. Especially when you're with your redheaded girlfriend. Oh my God, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at something even better. Last week, a buddy of mine is single. Okay, stick with me. So a buddy of mine's single, and he goes, he's on Tinder. First of all, Tinder, Bumble, Raya, all that stuff. I've never really used them. I sort of missed the boat on that, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Seems like it'd be a lot of fun. It's also really fun to have a cool girlfriend like Brittany, which I suppose trumps the fun of dating inherently. But I guess what I mean is, like, when I was dating, I didn't really have any wherewithal to use the apps. Gosh, I hope you can't hear that jet flying past my house. So anyway, I'm talking to my buddy, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm so freaking bored these days. I'm scheduling dates now." I was like, "Dates? What are you talking about? It's COVID. We can't leave. You can't go outside. Like, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, Zoom dates." I'm like, "Damn, bro, that sucks." Like, I can't imagine anything sort of less fun than a Zoom date. I suppose not having a Zoom date would be less fun than a Zoom date. But yeah, dating over Zoom must be a real pain in the ass. And then so I mentioned that to somebody else, a sort of friend of a friend, in the text thread or whatever. Or no, I mentioned it in a text thread, and my friend was like, "Oh, my other couple friends, another couple that I know that are engaged, they met this past year dating, COVID dating, quarantine dating. Their first 10 dates were on FaceTime. Then they both got tested, quarantined, sat in their house alone for 14 days or whatever the hell it is. And then went and hung out with each other. What a world. You know what I mean? What a world. Also, my buddy mentioned that he had a date with a redhead. And I said, "Oh, is that your first time?" And he said, "Yeah." And I was like, redheads, that's the big leagues. What can you say? Anyway, so shout out to any of you fuckers who are dating and quarantine dating, COVID dating right now. I cheers to you. Good luck. I hope you get laid or whatever, or meet the love of your life, or somewhere in between. It's been kind of a weird week for old Max. My desk is a clusterfuck. You can always tell what type of week I'm having by how messy my desk is. Shit, that should be my New Year's resolution. Clean my desk. I'm reading a new book called Atomic Habits. It's very interesting stuff. I love reading about habit forming, even though inherently makes me feel like a lazy slug because I haven't actually made these habits into something else. But anyway, Atomic Habits is by someone. It's a relatively famous self-help, self-work, best yourself book. I don't even know what you want to call it. And what he talks about is getting 1% better every day. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's essentially compounding how good you get on, if you get 1% better every day at the end of a year, you're 30, you're 40, 37, 30, 40, 37%, I'm guessing, better. If you get 1% worse every day for a year, it's even worse. It's like you're 50% worse or something like that. I don't know if the math checks out, but the long and short of it is it's nice to get better. And one of the things he talks about is when you're trying to build a new habit, you tack it onto an existing habit. So, for example, if you're trying to meditate, you don't say, I'll meditate in the morning. You say, I will meditate. You have a time, a place, and the best thing you can do is tag it onto an existing habit. So you don't say, I'll meditate in the mornings because you'll never do it. What you say is, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes on my living room floor after I brush my teeth, after I make a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? So that's a specific time, it's a specific place, and it tags on to a thing that I do every morning. You do, I do, whatever. Which is make a cup of coffee. What can I say? I'm a coffee nut. I'm a coffee bean. I'm a Beantown. Boston. I was trying to explain to Brittany the other night that the Boston Teens from Saturday Night Live is one of my favorite skits of all time. So much so that I sort of just quote it to myself out loud. I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this all the time. There's certain trigger words that when I hear those words, I, in my mind or out loud, say the quote from the movie or TV show that I heard it from. So, for example, when I hear or see Bailey's Irish Cream, for example, St. Patrick's Day yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever the hell it is. There's a scene in the Boston slang Saturday Night Live, and look this up if you want to. It's Boston Teens Saturday Night Live, the one with Britney Spears, the skit. She's guest hosting Saturday Night Live. She goes, he goes, I suffer from Jimmy Fallon. He says, I suffer from a few as yet unnamed learning disabilities. And, oh God, I'm blanking on her name. Now I'm going to feel like such a chump. Zazu! What was her name? I can't. I have to say what it is. Her name was Rachel Dratch. Of course, Rachel Dratch. Incredible actress. Incredible Boston accent. She goes, yeah, he did not get proper nutrition during his toddler years. Her mother's breast milk. First of all, he did not get proper nutrition during his toddler years is a just beautiful way of saying he was malnourished as a child. But proper nutrition during his toddler years. Think about that for a second, and think about it in conjunction with a Boston accent. He was malnourished as a child. Whatever, it doesn't mean anything. He did not get proper nutrition during his toddler years. He did not get proper nutrition during his toddler years. I mean, brilliant. First of all, like whoever wrote that line and then rewrote it to like put in a bunch of ER words. Just fucking brilliant. First of all, kudos to, whatever it is, a 15-year-old Saturday Night Live sketch writer. But she goes, he did not get proper nutrition during his toddler years. His mother's breast milk was like Bailey's Irish Cream. So now literally, and I've done this out loud. I've done this in bars. I've done this in the grocery. I did this in the grocery store this week. Every time I see a sign, because there was a section for St. Patrick's Day that was, Guinness, Jameson, Bailey's Irish Cream, Bailey's, whatever. I go out loud. I said, his mother's breast milk was like Bailey's Irish cream. And then I look over and there's like a mother and her daughter. And I'm like, it's from Saturday Night Live. Do you listen to the MaxBang? I'll just put it in the MaxBang so you understand it. I'll send you a link. Don't worry about it. Please don't arrest me for fucking sounding like a schizophrenic psycho. His mother's breast milk was like Bailey's Irish cream. How the hell did we start talking about racial trash? St. Patrick's Day was this week. I hope you all had a good one. I had a very bland one. It's a little bittersweet. Why is it sweet? It's sweet because I'm not going to bars. I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. I'm even though we're over a year into this 2-week lockdown for COVID-19, I'm still holding strong, not doing anything, not trying to spread any germs, wearing my mask. The anti-mask crew is almost as bad as the anti-vax crew, which is almost as bad as the I swear I'm not a racist crew. It's not a great crew. Anyway, I'm still going strong. I haven't done anything. I've lived to the best of my ability under these sort of restrictions and done everything I can to not spread anything and not be a total dickhead. But hopefully you guys are doing well as well. This week for St. Patrick's Day, I sat on the couch with Brittany and watched an episode of 30 Rock and drank a beer and ate a green frosting cookie, which turned out to be kind of gross. I literally, it was an impulse buy. I just bought it from the grocery store because it was green. They got me. What are you going to do? My best St. Patrick's Day, I actually wrote about this. I've been doing, I feel like we're in the trust tree, so I'm going to tell you something that I've literally told no one else. I'm doing a thing now where I still try to meditate a little bit. Meditation has sort of, I did it pretty fucking seriously for 2020. I think I did 300 out of 360 days, or maybe more. I got to check my app. Maybe it's like 320. As hard as I can, same time, same place, first thing in the morning, like I really focused into it. And I didn't honestly feel like it helped me as much as I was hoping. Mostly because the people that meditate say it's life-changing. It changes your perspective on literally everything. It makes you happier. It makes you, more of a better partner or friend or family member or whatever. It makes you happy and blah, 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 blah. It didn't make me that much. It made me slightly more, I guess, well-adjusted. Who knows? One thing that I've been doing this year... Shit, what the hell's my phone? One thing that I've been doing this year, sort of in conjunction, but I can see it taking the place of meditation eventually, is... I have started writing 5-minute, at least 5-minute free write. So sit down at a computer and you either just type nonstop for 5 minutes of whatever pops into your mind. That's my favorite one. That's how I started doing it. Or 2, now I pick a topic, either out of a book that I have of writing prompts, or like I was doing last time, those icebreaker questions. That's why I like doing them on this thing. Or if I have sort of something that I've been mulling over, I do a 5-minute, at least 5 minute, just type. Do not stop. Your fingers cannot stop typing. Just go. Frankly, I've found that a lot more revealing, a lot more, I don't know if it's healthier or more satisfying or what it is, but it is fun. And I've it's more interesting to me now these days. I'll let you know in a year if it works better or worse or the same as that ridiculous meditation. Anyway, I wrote a piece on St. Patrick's Day. There was one very sort of famous in certain cities. They take St. Patrick's Day very seriously. Chicago, Boston, New York. Sort of LA, but not really. And to be fair, I'm only speaking to places that I've been on St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, I've been to a million in Boston. They're amazing. I went to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day once, and it was one of the most spectacular weekends of my life. Just so much fun. People were so much fun. Everyone was just in a good mood. I met like a ton of incredible people. I couldn't be more #blessed. New York is very similar to Boston. Anyway, so I'm talking about one in Southie. They have a parade. It's called the Southie Parade. Shocker. Southie St. Patrick's Day Parade. And so me and two of my friends went, and we were going to go just sort of stand on a corner, a street corner, stand on a sidewalk, and just get drunk, see what happened. So we go there, and then we stick out our spot. We go to a liquor store, and we grab a couple of tall boys and put them in paper bags, and we're just going to drink them that way. So anyway, we go back to our spot, and the parade's starting. And so we're watching the parade, just sort of drinking beers, whatever. And then, and it's the three of us. So it's me, my friend, and my other friend. And a cop just walks right up to one of the friend that was in the middle. So we're standing in like bam, 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 like that. And so the cop walks right up to the guy that was in the middle and goes, "Oh, what's in the bag? Beers? You can't have those." Grabs them and just walks away. And it took us about 5 or 10 minutes to figure out exactly what happened, because yes, technically we're not allowed to drink. It's not an open carry state. You can't just drink on the street. But everybody was drinking on the street. 1, 2, he literally grabbed the beer out of his hand as the other two were on either side of him, full drink. So in 3, he didn't do anything. He just took the beers and like walked away. Here's what I think happened. I think the cop wanted a beer. And he robbed my friend. I honestly think that's what happened, because he just looked in, was like, "Oh, beers, you can't have those." Took them and walked away. It's like the cop tax. It was amazing. It was so funny. Now, at the time, it was kind of a bummer. But luckily, I had a bunch of whiskey and we had some coffees. We made some Irish coffees. Sidebar: my preferred method of Irish coffee. Actually, I don't like Bailey's very much, but I don't like cream in my coffee. I like coffee black. Coffee black. So what you do is, but I also don't like lukewarm coffee. I think it's pretty gross. Iced coffee is delicious. Boiling hot coffee is delicious. Lukewarm coffee is gross. So, but when you you don't normally keep your whiskey hot. It's room temperature. So when you have hot coffee and you pour in room temperature whiskey, it gets lukewarm, which is disgusting. So the trick is you heat up your whiskey. This has been Cocktail Corner. This has been Cocktail Corner with MaxNoSleeves. All right, let me get to a couple comments. Oh, I did want to talk about something that came up during meditation. So I think how this is going to work is I'm going to give you a very short story, and then I want to get to the comments. What I thought was interesting was when we were talking about meditation, the point of meditation is to clear your mind, to think of nothing, to slow your brain down a little bit and give it a break. And let me explain further. The way my mind works is I'm like, oh, I have to clean my desk. Oh, great. There's this razor that this company sent me. Oh, great. I have to send them an email to thank them. Oh, great. I better check all my emails. Oh, great. There's 40,000 emails I got to catch up on. Oh, great. One of them is about a video shoot that I want to do. Okay, great. I have to write that video. And it's just bing, 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 bing. And before you know it, my brain is thinking 1,000 miles away. The point of meditation is to quiet all that, to slow that down, to allow your brain sort of a breather. It's supposed to be very healthy. It's also incredibly difficult to have a completely clear and quiet mind. That's the whole point of meditation. So anyway, I wrote this down. You're sort of striving towards something that you'll never achieve. You'll never have a completely clear mind. It's not clearing your mind, it's focusing your mind. You're trying to focus your mind for a nanosecond on something, usually your breath. Once you get lost, you begin again, and getting lost and beginning again is the bicep curl. That's the exercise. I mean, first of all, talk about how much of a meathead this guy has to be to sort of put it in terms of that. But I thought it was sort of a very sort of elegant way of putting it. Yes, quieting your mind is impossible. At the very best, you're going to get a nanosecond. But don't get discouraged, because it's not one of those things that you eventually will accomplish, and until you do that, you're shit. It's one of those things where by beginning again, by trying again, by continuing to try, that's what you're doing, you know? And you'll never be perfect, and you'll never be done. But that's not the point. The point is to continue trying. So if you're struggling with something right now, maybe sort of shift it a little bit and say, am I struggling because I haven't achieved it yet? Maybe appreciate how hard you're working and keep it up. Very, very good work out there. Okay, comments. So these are the comments from last time. Again, if you have something you'd like me to, you have a piercing question you'd like me to answer, please leave them in the comments below. Max Racing Team, great bang. Thank you very much. I also asked if you guys wanted these to be put on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever. Sounds like most of you guys want them on video format, which is fine by me. I guess we'll just keep them that way. This is the question I wanted to ask. Max, I have to ask, why are you pouring your latte out of the Starbucks cup and into a mug? Let me tell you, this is not just any mug. This is a heated mug that I control with my phone. I know that's bougie AF. It's 141 degrees right now. I don't know if you can see that. Shit, it's 140. I'm losing ground here. This was the thing that I wanted for a while because I really like hot coffee. So much so that I would pour myself half cups because I didn't want the coffee to cool down. I couldn't drink a cup fast enough without it cooling down about halfway through. Remember that whole thing I told you about? Lukewarm coffee. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you guys the end of that cop story. Oh, whatever. So the point of pouring it into this mug is that it's bougie and I get the exact temperature that I like. It stays hot by itself. I wanted it for a while. Brittany got it for me for my birthday or for Christmas last year. I immediately got her one. And it is a tremendous gift. I wish I had a promo code for you or something. I reached out to them about doing some influencer stuff because typically when I like a product, I'll just reach out and be like, hey, do you want me to shout you guys out? I love your stuff. It's pretty fucking seamless. It's pretty natural. Usually they're like, yeah, here's a code, or yeah, here's a referral link or whatever. Nah, Ember told me to go fuck myself. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. Cool. So if you want one, it's an excellent gift. It's a little expensive. It's like $150. But I would say well worth it. Although, to be fair, I am a big fan of overly technologically advanced things. You know, my phone connects to my mug. These sunglasses are actually a speaker. This jacket is a Bluetooth. Like, I can Bluetooth this jacket to my phone, and it'll do commands depending on if I like tap my thing. That's no joke. This jean jacket right here, this is actually like a Bluetooth jacket. It's insane. And a lot of people ask me like, oh man, what are you gonna like charge your jacket before you go out? Are you gonna charge your sunglasses before you go to the beach? Yeah, that's exactly what I do, and that's awesome. It really is. So go fuck yourself. The end of the St. Patrick's Day story is as we're standing there on the curb. We're just sort of sitting there, and we're in a relatively better mood because we've had a bunch of Irish coffees. Also, is that racist to call something an Irish coffee? I mean, it's just a recipe, isn't it? And randomly, out of the sort of door stoop behind us, the front door walks my ex-girlfriend. She's my girlfriend in college. She's a great girl. She's really funny, really cool. But at the time I was like, ugh, fuck, this is awful. And she was like, what are you guys doing here? And we were like, we were just sitting here. We just got robbed by that cop and now we're just drinking whiskey. And she was like, oh, cool. I'm at a party. Do you guys want to come up to this party? And what's funny is I was with two of my friends and we all knew each other. We all went to school together. Immediately as I'm like about to say, no, thanks, I'm good, my two friends were like, yeah, let's go. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went up and it was a great party, and I was in my own head about it too much because I was sort of heartbroken over her, obviously, even though I was the one who was a piece of shit to her. So like I there was no reason for me to feel that way, but so often, even though there's no reason for you to feel a certain way, that doesn't mean that your feelings aren't valid, and you can feel sort of however the hell you want to feel. I want to get to a couple of comments. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the rise in anti-Asian sentiment over the past year. I don't want to get too into it. I do want to say a couple of things. One, I firmly stand with my Asian brothers and sisters. I also am part Asian. I'm not really exactly sure what the term, I think it's white passing, so I haven't really dealt with any sort of direct racism myself or anything of the sort. On the contrary, people usually sort of tell me Asian jokes, Chinese jokes or whatever, and then I have to be like, yeah, that's funny, I'm Asian, you're a piece of shit. Cool. I think that denying it is insane. I've seen that recently, whereas people are like, it's not it wasn't a hate crime, it's just a crazy guy. First of all, he's a terrorist. Second of all, he murdered 8 people at 2 different Asian spa locations, and to even suggest that there was any sort of sexual whatever just denigrates those people as human beings. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? You're saying like whatever, they work at a massage parlor, they don't like have families or dreams or aspirations or whatever, like fuck you. I think one of the biggest problems this past year was calling it the China flu, the Kung flu. I think that if you participated in that, you should take a look in the mirror and, if possible, punch yourself in the fucking dick, because you're, as far as I'm concerned, just a total piece of shit. To deny it is ridiculous. To deny you're a racist is also kind of ridiculous. One of my other favorite sentiments is it's pretty stupid. You're not exactly allowed to say whether or not you're a racist. Your actions sort of say whether or not you're a racist, and the rest of society will let you know. If you have in any way the means or the wherewithal or whatever, try to stick up for the Asian community, because I think that there has been a steady rise. If you look up the trends over the last year, it's uncomfortable at worst and horrifying at worst. I don't know which one's worse, but uncomfortable at best, horrifying at worst, I suppose. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. It's not great, and to ignore it, I think, is awful. So if you can, support them in any way you can. Let's get to one last comment, because I did want to. There was something that I wanted to see. Oh, the tap. The tap was College Bar. I can't really get into that right now because there's 5 billion comments, or there's 5 billion stories on that. Oh, card games. Oh, I asked you guys last time what your favorite board game was. This time I'm going to ask you what your favorite card game is. Specifically, drinking card game. I'll give you a short list right now. I think it really comes down to Kings. I used to really like Bullshit, but I think it's too slow now. Fuck the Dealer, I think, is really, really good. And I used to play a game called Drunk Driver. This was terrible. Not a great game. I wouldn't recommend it. It's essentially high or low, and then I forget how you play the end of it. Oh, if you have a We played it on bicycles. Obviously, we played it before we were even able to drive. So inherently, Drunk Driver is a pretty stupid game to play, but you basically play high or low, and then you get on your bike and you try to ride around the block, and whoever rides faster wins. Drunk Driver. Personally, my favorite card game, Spit. And if you don't know what Spit is, you line up 4 cards in a row and you go higher, up and down on the same thing. And it's a speed game and it's incredibly fun. And if you really want to get your ass kicked, I suggest you play My Mother, because she is easily the best Spit player I've ever seen. Let me see. I don't want to like oversay this. Okay. She's the best player. She's the best at Spit. She's the best Spit player of any game I've seen. So I've never seen someone better at their game than my mom is at Spit. Right. I just don't want to oversell things. Anyways, it's been a really fun MaxBang. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm dog sitting right now, so I got to take the boys to the pack. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and have a great weekend. Keep banging.